Hello, my name is Malcolm. I'm an astrologer here in Austin, Texas, and this is Free Astrology with Malcolm. This is the Planetary Energy Compatibility lecture and the aspect angle part in one lecture. So I'm going to try to be fast. If you need the printed materials, you got to go to ashstarcommand.net, click on the toolbar, look for spiritual blogs, type in astrology next to the magnifying glass, and then look up My Ugly Face. It's going to be near the bottom this time, and it's going to have the word free next to it. I do have a previous lecture, which was 2 videos that concerned the houses and the planets. Materials on that are near the top of that particular blog site. So this one's going to be near the bottom, so go there, okay? Anyway, let's start with the sun. But wait, before we go, let me just say this. Anytime I say energies are incompatible, it means they have to be looked at in terms of what I call an 8th harmonic aspect. By 8th harmonic aspect, I mean 0 degrees, 45 degrees, 90 degrees, 135 degrees, and 180 degrees. Anytime you have planetary energies that are not compatible with each other at those particular angles, there's usually some kind of important lesson that has to unfold. When the planets are compatible with each other, in my opinion, there's going to be annoyances as far as any kind of bad lessons, but for the most part it's usually, it may be a non-event. So keep this in mind as I explain planets being compatible with each other or not, because it may be all about just lessons that need to be learned if it's a hard and sharp aspect. The Sun is compatible with all planets except Saturn, Neptune, and Pluto. The Moon, energies of the Moon, lunar energies, compatible with everyone except Mars, Saturn, and Neptune. Mercury has energies that are compatible with all except Mars, Saturn, and Neptune. Next we come to Venus. Venus is compatible with everyone except Saturn and Neptune, and with Saturn and Neptune, the combinations can indicate great talent in artwork or great talent in theater or acting. Mars, compatible with no one except the Sun, Venus, and Jupiter. Jupiter, is compatible with everyone except Saturn and Neptune. But like Venus, Jupiter combining with Saturn can indicate business ability and business sense, and Jupiter and Neptune can indicate spiritual research or philosophy research, as well as possible spiritual enlightenment, as was the case with Martin Luther King. So it may not necessarily be a bad thing. Okay, next we come to Saturn. Saturn gets along with nobody. Venus and Jupiter can work with it, however, as I mentioned, to either create a business or art talent ability. Next we come to Uranus. Uranus gets along with everyone except Mars, Saturn, and Neptune. Neptune gets along with nobody, because Neptune is the deceiver. It can bring spiritual enlightenment in rare cases, but for the most part, she's Maya. She's a deceiver. Venus and Jupiter can work with Neptune, as I mentioned, from, say, an acting or artwork perspective, or from a spiritual enlightenment perspective. Next we come to Pluto. Pluto gets along with everyone except the Sun, Mars, Saturn, and Neptune. North Node. It's not a planet, it's a point in the horoscope. I view it as an apparatus to connect. I know that there are, like in Vedic astrology, it's called Rahu, and it rules the sign of Virgo. I just view it more as a description of a type of connection with the planet, luminary, or point in the horoscope involved. Conjunctions. We're going to start the angles. There's 0 degrees. They're the most important ones to look for in a chart. I use a 4-degree orb with slow-moving planets, maybe a 2-degree orb if it involves luminaries, but conjunction is a combination of the 2 energies on the chart, and you either learn to work with them, or if they're not compatible, or you're going to be involved with a lifelong lesson. That can bear great results, by the way. Planets that are compatible, many good things happen with it, success, honors, but it can also bring on too much of a good thing sometimes. Next we come to the semi-sextile, 30 degrees. A lot of astrologers don't cover this one. This can indicate a minor tension that can affect health and career if it's really, really hard. And by that I mean like within 1 degree, should you bear consideration with this one. If it's involving slow-moving planets, maybe 2 degrees. Semi-square, 45 degrees. This is one of the aharmonic series that I talked about. 45 degrees indicate minor stress or a series of minor stresses that can lead to a problem if the planets aren't compatible with each other. In terms of planets being compatible with each other, it can mean non-events happening, but it can also mean occasional annoyance in these areas. Okay, next we come to the semi-sextile. The semi-sextile is 60 degrees. It represents opportunities. It's a harmonious aspect. If the planets don't get along with each other, it's an opportunity for the energies to work together to create something useful. If they're compatible, it can be a very useful tool one can use for advancement in life. Next we come to the square. Square, 90 degrees. A square is a technical conflict. And whether it's compatible or not, you're going to have some kind of a problem related to the planets involved. It can be too much of a good thing that can lead to problems with others, be it envy or jealousy, whatever, or an actual fight or whatever. It can mean an accident from too much of a good thing if the planets are compatible. If they're not compatible, it's definite lessons that you have to work with and learn to monitor. It can indicate injury, can indicate health issues. I notice it has a lot to do with affecting one's reputation and affecting their goals in life. Next we come to trine. Trines are harmonious aspects, 120 degrees. I use a 4-degree orb too if it's luminaries. With the trine, there's great harmony between the planets and definite opportunities and triumphs are usually made if the planets are compatible with each other or not. If they are, expect great glory. If they're not compatible, it usually indicates that a major agreement or something's going to be worked out between the energies that's going to have a fruitful result. Shirley Temple was born with Jupiter trine Saturn, and I think she's an example of someone who learned to work with it most of her life. Okay, next we come to the sesquiquadrate. The sesquiquadrate, 135 degrees. I like this 1 degree or less with anything. I notice with that you usually get health problems. I've had this by transit 3 times that brought on real bad health problems for me. I notice people who have this on their chart, on their horoscope, that usually indicates health issues between the planets involved. So that's another one a lot of people don't look at, and you really must monitor. Now we come to the opposition. The opposition is 180 degrees. That's a trade-off must be made. The tiger or the lady, the devil versus the deep blue sea. You have to make a decision. And usually under this, when you make a decision, it indicates hurt feelings somewhere. But as long as you know you did what you had to do for the best. It can be too much of a good thing if the planets are compatible. If they're not compatible, areas of the energies involved are what you have to monitor as far as what needs to be given up or added onto or whatever. And that's it for now. We're now going to go to the signs of the zodiac.